Hello, overcomers. I'm back. Today we have a guest, Sara Thornburgh. I think that's how you pronounce Thornburgh. She is the co-author of 7 anthologies. Her writings are published in 7 different books, which is great. Sara, we have one of the books is Mother, What My Mother Taught Me, and in this book they share their own stories of something they have learned from their moms. The other book is Hope for Wounded Hearts. It says is each author tell their stories how they either overcame the trial or clung to Jesus as they walked through the trial. So tell us about your experience of the process of writing in this book, experiencing God's presence.
All right. So this one, as soon as the story contest came out, I knew which one I wanted to do. And my story is about a time where I was with some friends at the time in LA. It was right after a call that was in Sacramento with Lou Engle, and we had gone to LA for a worship thing, and we were staying at YWAM because I rented out rooms and stuff at the time. And so we went in and we were just kind of touring the place. And as we were doing that, some of the guest speakers that were there that weekend for YWAM, they were going to speak to the students. They came in and we kind of weren't sure what was going to happen. And so we ended up all praying for each other. And so my story is about what happened in that encounter with the Lord. And I got full of, he encountered me full of joy, like uncontrollable, giggly joy during that time. So that's a little bit about what that story is about.
So how did you start to use your art skills? Because I read that you are good like playing instruments, writing, doing craft, and cooking. So how did you discover all these talents?
I've always been into arts and crafts, but when I was younger, there were several times I was told that I wasn't good at this, or I wasn't good at that, and I wasn't good at this. So at the time I was a teenager. Some of the time, those times I wasn't even a teenager yet. I was just a preteen or younger. And so I took it to heart and I believed it. But then as an adult, I started attending a church in 2008 that had a house of prayer, and they were into prophetic art, and we did a workshop. And I had signed up to volunteer to show people how they could use sign language in worship. And I ended up going to some of the workshops when I was done teaching one, and they ended up, the Lord ended up really redeeming all of the different creative arts at that time that were like flagging and dancing and painting and just different things. And because I've stewed it for so long, he's just continued to give me more, and he still does. And so I've been playing the flute since I was in 3rd grade, off and on. And then recently he had me get a piano, and I think I've always loved to cook and bake. I don't know, he just continues to give me more as I steward different ones. And if I'm in a mood to do one, I do it. And sometimes I'm in the mood to do like 5 of them in one day.
That's so cool. I'm sure God is speaking to people that is connecting here, and there is a purpose here, because if the enemy is trying to destroy this live session, is because there is power on it. Can you please read a fragment of the book Experiencing God's Presence, like a part of what you wrote, maybe the part that you most like? If it is not very long, you can read it all.
Okay, sure. I'll read the last half of it. As the group continued to pray over her, laying their hands on her once more, they started prophesying a deep joy over her, and she started laughing. Then she started laughing even harder, and eventually the laughing turned into uncontrollable giggles, childlike giggles, that she couldn't stop or control. It was the uncontrollable joy of the Lord. As she lay there on the floor, the Lord ministered to her, filling her even more with laughter and joy. When she was finally able to get up, she found out she had been laughing for over 3 hours. I'm sure you can only imagine how she must have felt after that encounter. She was so refreshed after that beautiful experience with the Lord. That joyful, giggly young lady was none other than me. Did you know you too can experience his presence and be filled with his love, joy, and peace? All you need to do is ask the Lord, then wait on the Lord and receive it. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Matthew 7:7. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10.
Thank you. I'm gonna give an applause. I will see it later. Thank you for reading. Linda is connected and she said, you are doing good. You have my attention. And that's a miracle because she's very hyperactive and she wants to do this and this. Maybe she's cooking and washing. And we have here Jacqueline and she's listening too. So even though that the video is not working well, we look like this, like, so like the picture. I know God is speaking and doing something. So,
Yes.
how are the readers receiving your writing? Is there any special story, testimony? Is there anything that people have shared with you? They say, I read your writing and this happened to me. Can you please share a little bit?
I don't know about any special stories as far as one specific um anthology, but what happened when I started giving my copies, my author copies of the anthologies away to friends is I have a good friend who is also a writer, and she always struggled in like she wanted to write, but she wasn't sure how to get started, and she wasn't sure where to start because she didn't want to do something that like she, she didn't want to do something where it like was a membership type thing, but she wanted support. And so what happened is I just ended up telling her my testimony of what happened with me, and I just kept sharing. And she has now started writing just little things for herself or her close friends, and but it's in my testimony of my writing experience has encouraged her and inspired her to just put the pen to paper or start typing and just to sit down with the Lord and kind of play and let the Holy Spirit guide her. So that was just kind of a fun experience for me to see her get inspired through me taking that risk of faith and stepping out of my comfort zone. So
Okay. Well, I was able to hear more now. That's cool. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that God always use is our testimony to encourage others. And Linda is asking, she have never heard what is an anthology. Can you explain a little bit what is an anthology?
an anthology is a collection, as a book collection of several authors' stories. So all of these books have 50 to 60 authors in each one. And until I entered the short story contest, I'd never heard of anthologies either. But they're out there. So yeah, they're just a collection of stories by different authors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is good because sometimes you don't have like a whole bunch of stories to publish your own book, but you have some writings that are in different like papers, and then you can put them in anthology together with other people, and that can help others to know about what God is doing in your life and through your writing, and how something that maybe look like a poem or a small tale can be something good for someone to read. So that's another way
Absolutely.
that authors can be known and published. What are your next plans? do you want to be part of another anthology, or do you want to publish your own book?
Both. I'm sure once this current once this current anthology gets published, they will be throwing out more story contests for us, and I will be entering that one. And then I do have a few things that I would like to publish myself, either self-publishing or traditional. I'm not sure yet, but I have to talk with some friends and my writing mentors, and then pray, of course. So yeah.
That's great. Congratulations. That would be a great challenge, because it's
Yeah.
always, a challenge to publish a book or to write something, to publish what you write, because it's always like putting yourself in public, and something that is very private, that you are just in the presence of God trying to write, then you put it so that others can know it. So where can people find your books, your stories? Can you tell us, like, if they can buy it through Amazon or anything, any link?
They are all on Amazon. That is how they were published. So they were, or you can get them directly from me if anyone wants a signed copy.
Okay. Okay, we have Linda say, can you recite, I don't know how this, an introduction to one of her short stories, one of her favorites. And thank you for, guys, thank you for staying, even that it looks so ugly here. I don't see it like that in my screen, but it looks like that in your screen, but that's great. Go ahead, Sarah.
The only book I brought up is the one that we've been talking about, Experiencing God's Presence, but I can give you a little bit of the first part of it. Make a joyful, well, let me do the title first. Make a joyful noise is the title. And then make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands, Psalm 101. Come with me, let's go on a journey of experiencing the presence of the Lord and his joy. It was a day she'd never forget. She was in Los Angeles. It was a day she was in Los Angeles, California, with a group from her church's house of prayer. They had just arrived at their destination and were touring the beautiful rooms of the campus, learning the lay of their land, when they stumbled upon some empty rooms. They decided to go in and take a look. While they were there, some guest teachers for the school came in. After formally introducing themselves, they started praying for each other. And then the rest of it, I pretty much read earlier.
So that was the other title that I was interested, the joyful noise, because it was like,
yeah.
No, joyful noise. I like that kind of titles for books that are like contradictory, like my book. I'm the author of this book, Fleeing to Overcome, and in Spanish, Huir para Vencer. And it's where I'm telling my own story and how was my process when I was going to be recruited by the guerrilla, the illegal groups in Colombia, and then how we escaped and came to live to Medellin's garbage dump, and that's the name of the city, Medellin. And then Camila has to make the decision between love and forgiveness. Okay. In English, I have some copies available in United States already, so I can send them. And I'm gonna read a little bit of the introduction of my book. It was written by Tom and Jen Atwater. In Camila Delacruz's fascinating and compelling book, Fleeing to Overcome, the reader is scared by Granada's crisp mountain air, noticed by the colorful and vibrant memories of Camila's youth in the countryside, and deceived by the bustling and often overwhelming city atmosphere of Medellin. From the tragedies that Camila's family and so many others experienced due to the conflict, to the joy in seeing hard-earned success come to fruition. The reader is left astonished at her resilience. While this challenge might seem insurmountable to those of us who live more comfortable lives, they deserve to strengthen Camila's resolve. giving her a greater appreciation for things that most of us take for granted, such as a bed, a refrigerator, food, and safety. Okay, thank you for staying here, for just join us in this moment, Linda and Jacqueline and anyone else who's gonna watch this video. And thank you, Sarah, for sharing about your books and your experiences writing, and the way you share God's love is so beautiful and so important. I have seen some of your pictures, drawings, some of your craft. You are very talented. Bye bye. Thank you, overcomers. We love you.